Greetings, gamers. Oh, I already got pushed by Volcano. That's a great start. Welcome to the L7 Iron Podcast. So this is a new series that we decided to start, and it's mostly thanks to Casts, which is a great influence to us, but also Jukebox Romeo. He created a new cast with some of his friends called the Zavcast, and they just fuck around and talk about some random topics. And it's something that we wanted to do, and we never really got time to do it, so we decided to give it a shot this time. And our goal is to discuss topics regarding OSRS and maybe a tiny bit of in real life, but not that much. More specifically, focused on RuneScape. And yeah, so I guess we'll start off by introducing the members. So firstly, I'm gonna be the host, LGR for short, but my name is Lone Gym Rat. And we're gonna talk about as an introduction for our names, what our progress is in the game, what our goals are, and so on. Maybe a little bit of in real life. And once everyone is introduced, we can start into the main topics. So, as I said, my name is Lone. I'm a collection log enthusiast and a maxed Ironman, and I make YouTube videos. Now, my goals are more focused towards the collection log, which, as you may know from my series, is one of my primary goals, but also pursuing PVM items and combat achievements. Now, in real life, I'm a mechanical engineer currently working in the aerospace field, and I'm not going to go into more detail for that, so that's for myself. Now, I guess we can go on the second person, which is Crayons.
Well, I go by Dragons now. We had to we had to get rid of that name. But rank 1 Twitter ban, currently 8 out of 9. Burnt skilling enthusiast. What else? I'm a network engineer, IRL. That's pretty dope. I'm a big watch enthusiast as well. So if anyone likes watches, you can always DM me. If you're interested in buying watches, you can always DM me too, because I can get hookups on pretty much anything. From Rolex, AP, Patek Philippe's, Omegas, the whole 9 yards. Apart from that, though, I'm just a burnt skiller and working my way to 2 bill.
Hell yeah. 9227, you're next.
Oh, hey, I'm 9227 or 92. I play a max Ironman account. I'm generally just bad at the game, but enjoy playing it. That's about it for me.
Nice. And how about you, Aiden? Your turn.
Yeah, I'm Aiden. I play a maxed iron. I sort of sit in the middle zone of PVMer and skiller, and I'm slightly over casual, I would say. I'm currently just finishing up the rune crafting skilling competition, and then I go back to being a ToA locked Iron Man until I get my Sori.
Hell yeah, I'll join you in
R.I.P.
that.
Gray.
Yeah.
Can we get a R.I.P. Gray in the chat?
Dude, poor
Oh,
Gray.
yeah.
He tried so hard, but he
It's-
couldn't compete.
It's done
Too close
for.
to the sun.
Dude, Pyro passed me overnight. I went to go take a 2-hour nap and it turned into 12.
Yeah, I was talking to Pyro and I was like, dude, you could do something else. And he's like, nah, Winter Thought is too much of a meme.
Dude, I hate that. I don't have any winter tonic left. That's the shitty part. I had nothing. The best thing I had for me going was buy cook Karams or Shin Defense or Slayer, which I get no HP XP, so it's like a lose-lose situation. There was no chance. I had to outplay him, that's all.
No, but he's a gamer though, like it's to be expected. But I guess we can go straight into some of our topics here. So
Yeah, for sure.
the first one here that I have on my list is actually about Iron Higer. So he's 50 million XP away from 200 mil all on the Ironman, which is going to be the first Ironman with max experience, which is really insane and a really crazy achievement to get as well. So I just want to talk about that a little bit quickly. You want to start off? Let's start off with Aiden because he was the last one to introduce himself earlier.
Oh, I almost died.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fantastic achievement, really. Higer's an absolute beast. He doesn't really fall into. I was talking to 9-2 about this earlier. He doesn't really fall into that niche of just a skiller going for 200 mil because he's got all the PVM, good boss KCs and stuff like that. Overall, it's unbelievable, really. 200 mil all on a self-sufficient account.
Yeah, and his hours are insanely consistent too.
Yeah.
He also has a good collection log. He's like 920 collections or something.
Yeah, I was stalking his collection log a couple of days ago, and he had 200 or 194 big swordfish. And I just looked at that and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
It's
he's got a
fucking
big, he's got a
crazy.
nice collection log. He's got a nice amount of PVM gear too, I believe, and pets too. Like overall, like it's a like you would think someone like rank one, it's just strictly, skilling, and he doesn't have any like bandos or arma or anything like that. But he has like I think he has like Torva and shit too. Like he has a whole bunch of stuff that you would never think rank one would have.
Yeah, I saw him at Meds a
Especially when
couple
you
times.
compare it to like a non-iron skiller where half of the front page barely has any KC because it's not efficient to do. But not only does he have like the PVM chops, he is really good at it. He had rank 1 6-hour corrupted gauntlet. He may still,
Oh, I remember that. I remember that
and
post.
a 50 million mining month, I think it was.
Dude,
It was
no,
like
it was a
64 mil or
50 mil agility month, which recently got smashed by Toad for 54 mil, which is just fucking insane. Like if you think about that in perspective of hours, that's that's about 540 hours efficient in a month. So you're playing 20, 21 hours a day efficiently running SEP, getting a little bit around 100k an hour. Like it's absurd. That's a lot of best in slot 30 defense right there.
you want to explain what that is to people? Because they
No, I'll just let them guess. Well, it's second best in slot, 30 defense armor. That's what we pot
Hell yeah, that's how Crayons gets his experience.
now. Now, yeah, it's a wonderful thing. I don't know. First time I did it, and I did a 6 hour of mining. Pretty nice. I like spaced out for 4.5 hours.
Yeah, you didn't blink for about 4 of them.
Yeah, we have to remind you to blink manually just to be sure.
Yeah. What else about Hyger though? Did you say he was like rank one CG?
For a
Yeah,
six
for a
hour record.
6-hour log,
Oh,
yeah,
the 6 hour. Okay.
which is like insane. Like to consistently get kills at a fast pace, like it's not easy.
Overall, he's just a big gamer. Being rank one and still having 27k Vorkath kills. Like I know it was efficient back then to do it with Slayer. Now it's not so much. Now you don't need 40k, 20k Vorkath kills anymore because of like Foundry and all the other updates that came out. But I mean, just if you consider all of the hours outside of skilling that he put into his account is just absurd.
Yeah, and I'm really
And still
excited to
be
see Hire go for collection log. I think he's gonna be a really good contender, and he's probably gonna get the top page collection log.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what he does. And you also got to think too, like it's not like he's just barely rank one. Like he's gapped Dids by rank one by a lot too, while having all of these achievements.
Yeah, for him to come from behind, positional wise, and overtake Dids in such a short period of time. I know Dids is still doing some of the slower skills as well, but it's just crazy.
Oh, and to continue on with the scaling thing, he did a 65 mil mining month,
Yeah, it's so crazy.
which is what 130 divided by 650 whatever. Like that's like still 400, 500 something hours of granite
Man, I don't
in
know how
a
people do that, dude.
month.
That's crazy. But yeah, so that's Higer. Hopefully he keeps playing after he gets 200 mil all. And
I think he
hopefully
will.
one day he does a Sebe cast. That would be awesome.
He won't. He won't do any of those things.
That's sad. I'd like to see his mindset, or hear his mindset. Be
Might go full
interesting.
clog after that.
Oh yeah, just hit the 200 mil and just do like Hey Jace.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Exactly,
straight
yeah.
into the jellies.
But we can move on to the next topic. So the next topic is about collection logging and how it's really becoming the new fad in terms of the OSRS community. And I think that's mostly because of Bodhi when he came back to the game after his health issues. Which, if you're not aware of that, make sure you watch his videos about that. It's very good to know. And yeah, he decided to start doing collection logging, and since his videos are so popular, a lot of people decided to follow suit. And we're also seeing a lot of new YouTubers, including myself, making series about collection logging. So it's really exploding lately. And I just want to see what you guys think about that. So we can start off with 9227.
Oh, sure. I fortunately, my account's new enough that I think everything I've done is on the collection log. So it's never been exactly a new thing for me. But seeing that it's gained such an interest with just players across the board, especially for mains, because mains generally would stick to money making. They kind of get lambasted for it for being like a boring style of account. And seeing them actually go out of their way to just do like new subjects that they haven't tried is like awesome.
True. Anything else to add, Crayons or Aiden?
It certainly.
Go
Sorry, go on.
ahead.
Go on. Oh, it certainly makes a change from the hardcore loop that everyone seems to be just going through, because that is literally just the same arc of Winter Todd, CG Rush into Cox camping until you get a T-bow, really. It feels like. So it sort of moved up the content, and because people are doing everything different, and the boring stuff tends to be condensed into one video of, oh, look, by the way, I did Castle Wars. Now I'm going to go and do something quite interesting. So yeah, it's definitely more interesting. There's a much better variety of stuff on YouTube now, which is good, because I mean, when you're going for 5 million rune crafting weeks, you sort of run out of stuff to watch on everything else.
It's clog. I think is like I was trying to think of the word for like the last few hours that the meaning or whatever, but it's like that sense of like I don't want to say entitlement or something, like just like purpose. Like it's like a sense of purpose when you do collection log. I think most of us play Iron in that way and think of it the same way as of like, it's self-sufficient and it's like you have goals, you have all these small goals, and it's like, for example, when you're in Iron and you go to Barrows, you get new gear. It's like that self title of an accomplishment or whatever. I feel like that's what clogging kind of is. It gives people like a self passion type purpose when they do collection log, because they're like completing the game in a way, and collecting all you new uniques and all that jazz. I don't know. I'm like stuttering my words. I'm on 30 defense right now, but um, if you know what I mean though, it's like it's
For sure. I think
um
it's like the mantra also of, like number go up is good. Just increasing that and having it as something you can pursue and like expand on is like just a nice feature.
one way to describe it is, has anyone played Diablo, like Diablo 2?
Oh
No, I
yeah,
haven't.
So
a
all the
ton,
little,
a
it's like
ton.
all the little, it's like the mini sub quests and stuff like that. It looks clean to have like all of the storyline, like sub quests and like little mini stuff accomplishments done in each area, is the way I kind of like look at clogging, and it becoming the new fad. It's just, I feel like it's a reason for people to like race on a new high scores too. Some people, but beforehand, all you had was either skillers or PVMers, like pet hunters. So there was like high scores for like who has the most pets, and then you have high scores for skilling. And so if people like one or the other for the last 8, 9, 10 years that this game has been out, now you have a new high scores that you can chase ranks on per se. Um, if you don't like skilling anymore, you don't like PVMing anymore, or let's say you have all the pets, you have all pets, but you hate skilling. What's there to do in the game for you? Not a whole lot. So I think clogging is pretty neat. However, one thing I don't like about clogging is the third age. I mean,
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
it's the time to complete the whole collection log. It's like 120,000 hours. Like it's absurd.
it's
I
just
think
unfeasible.
It's
it really is.
170,000 hours for
Oh my
irons.
god.
And for mains, it's slashed in half because the really clues are twice as fast to get because of shades. And it's actually got a 5% buff with the new
I mean, I
updates
guess
too.
80,000 hours, realistically, that looks like a lot. But I mean, if you think about it, 200 mil all is like 15K hours. So Actually, that's still fucked.
But
But
you have to remember
Yeah.
too, it'll get easier over time as they add new updates and buff stuff. Like the
yeah,
Revenant change, that'll save a couple hours. If they buff like clues ever in the future, like medium
like
clues
an
or
RS3, how they have like the rerolls and stuff,
yeah, anything like
or
that
you
would
or you
save
can like
thousands
stack.
of hours. So
Yeah,
like it might be daunting today, but I'm sure it'll get lowered eventually. And
I just wish they had it to where like me personally, I'm not swayed towards collection log because of that. I don't like clues really. Ideally, I think it should be, um, you hit the mega rare third age table one time per clue, like for hards, elites, and masters, and that would kind of like give you the completion. Like instead of having, I don't know, 30 different third age items, it's just one collective third age piece, and the icon could have like a sword, a mace, or a sword, a staff, and like an arrow like crossing over each other, some dumb shit. And that's basically like, oh, if you hit the third age drop table, you complete the third age section for cards and then elites and masters. So therefore, it's like it's actually more obtainable to complete the log.
but you don't have to look at it that way. You can just look at it to complete the collection log except for clues section. Or try to get a highest number, but only doing things you enjoy. That's kind of my mentality. I just do
Yeah, I
content I
mean,
enjoy, and I do clues as I get them, but I don't purposely camp elites, for example.
yeah, like either I'm hoping to hit 2 bill total by the end of this year, and after that, I'll probably start doing a little bit more PVMing. Like I'll be doing ToA again here really soon, but I might start doing some collection log things here and there and take a break from skilling, but I'm not entirely sure. It's just I'm not a fan of the whole clue thing. That's all I have to say on that.
Fair. I think I like clues other than elite clues. Even beginners, they're fine. Elite clues, throw them out. Just still garbage.
No, they're fun. They're just annoying to get.
I don't know, man. It's
think
all
even
it's all
since
masters for me.
yeah,
I've had a
even
master
since
clue in
the
my bank for like 6 months.
It's painful.
God damn it.
I don't get them during birdhouse runs anymore.
But okay, we can move on to the next topic, which is interesting because you were just talking about ToA. So the next topic is about Tombs of a Mass Kit. So I guess first, like we can start off about the purple bug and the invocation bug recently. Now the invocation bug kind of affects us quite seriously because two people in our CC actually found out about the bug and were abusing it in quotation marks together, and they shared it to other people in the CC, which in turn led to 7 people in our clan getting a 2 week ban. Actually, among the 7, one person got 3 weeks, which is interesting. But I think
It's bad RNG.
well, he had like a 2 week ban for cheat clients as well.
Maybe that.
But honestly, I think the reason, like the ban duration and the perm ban, was related to quantity of TOAs you've done with the plugin enabled. Because, like for example, for myself, I did one raid. Like I logged on Discord after work, and then the boys are like, "Yo, you want to send a 350?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then they show me notifications, and I see everything's enabled. I'm like, "What the hell? How is that possible?" And then they're like, "Dude, we found the bug." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever. Let's send one." But we planked on Warden, which is really funny. But I didn't end up getting a temp ban because I only did one raid. And there's other people in the clan that have done 1 or 2 raids and didn't get a temp ban either. So I think what Jagex did is they considered one raid with the plugin or the abuse bug abuse, considered it as like a fair. And if you did 2, you were like confirming the bug. But if you did beyond 3 kill count, they would consider you as a bug abuser and give you a temp ban. So I think that's what their mentality was on that specific bug. Now that doesn't mean that in the future, if you do it once or twice, you'll be fine. But that's like an indication of how they decided the duration, which is really strange.
Just for
But
this specific instance.
yeah, and
You know
also
how
like there's so much to talk about this, but I'll let someone else go because I've been talking too much.
you know how salty I would have been if I got, because like I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't even know this bug was a thing, and I won't name names, but someone was doing it, and we were doing 8-man TOAs with him, um, and I didn't even know it was a thing. So I mean, I don't even look at the invocations either. I just send it. So if I would have gotten a temp ban, I would have actually been quite salty because one, I didn't know about the bug, until they made a Twitter topic about it. So I actually would have been quite salty because I mean I'm also sketched about getting any type of false ban because I've had the 2 week for client, which is dumb in my opinion because they ended up adding all of the plugins like Neverlog and shit to RuneLite anyway. So I should
Oh,
have
that's
either
a
just waited a
whole other
week,
conversation too.
dude. That's so.
But I'm
They
down
should
to
have
go
just.
there too because I have some pretty firm opinions.
They should like I don't know. They should have. I should have just waited a week for Neverlog, but whatever. Um, the bug is, in my opinion, wasn't even that like bad. Like you have the reroll purple bug that no one got banned for, and you have this invocation bug that gave you what like an extra 15
It was a
because
little more than that, but the thing about the invocation bug is it wasn't OP because you still had the same scale in terms of defense and health. The
Yeah,
only thing
Yeah.
you
this is my
avoid was the
point.
shitty invocations.
Yep.
Yeah.
my
There's a
I feel
lot
bad
of
for Seven though too. Seven got permed. I don't think that really.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think anyone should
unfair.
have got permed. In my opinion, no one should have got permed, especially when you had the reroll purple bug, and then like we can talk about the SEP thing that just happened too. People were
Yeah.
doing it on stream. I doubt anyone got banned for that.
Also, like I think what Jagex did is they saw like an opportunity to make an example out of the ToA
Yeah.
invocation bug, so they took it. And it's
Oh,
unfortunate like people
Especially,
got punished for it, but you know.
so
I think
if they're gonna
especially after their first response to the reroll, where they didn't acknowledge it, didn't do anything about it, and just let it happen until they fixed it. I
I
think
mean,
that's part of why they had this response.
if you want to talk about making an example out of somebody, why choose Seven? Why not Coxie? Coxie's
Oh,
been banned for he's admitted to real world trading. He's admitted to um
oh, but it's a different account. No
the
worries.
AHK stuff.
Totally fine.
He's admitted to a bunch of stuff. He got a client ban. He got a fucking AHK ban. I mean, I'm not trying to like say like those are like harsh offenses. They're like really not realistically. But if you want to make an example out of someone who's always cheating the game or finding a way to abuse the game in any way, I mean, look at Coxie. I mean, I think he should have got permed.
Yeah, the consistency is a little sketch, but we don't know all the information behind it. Like maybe Seven did other things that we're not aware of, or maybe
Yeah.
Coxie did some other things that we're not
He
aware
was an
of.
Iron Man, so they just banned him. They were like, cringe Iron Man, see ya.
That sucks for Seven though. I don't think he should have got a perm to be completely honest. I mean, I
Yeah,
like his
Yeah.
videos too.
they could have just extended the temp ban instead, make it like 4 weeks for him, or even more if they
Yeah, like a
wanted.
month.
But a perm ban is really brutal.
The thing is
Yeah.
though is the if you look at the severity of the bug, it's really not that game breaking. It's not like super severe where it's like okay, you definitely warrant a perm. Like it's so minor compared to every other bug that's been in the game that
It wasn't enough
like
for a rollback.
even a month I think is pretty severe. But like at the end of the day, like a month is better than a perm.
Yeah, agreed.
Can you guys think of any other like bugs that have been in the game over the last few years that were like really like detrimental?
Yeah, I have one in my head, and the reason why I have it in my head is because I've done it. So this is me confessing.
Oh no.
Sorry. But it was the Cerberus bug back like in I think it was 2 years ago.
Oh,
Oh, the range safe spot. Yep.
Yeah.
that's still not that bad though. Like I'm thinking of the bugs where it's like game
That one
breaking.
was worse than the invocation bug in my opinion though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I mean,
Because
you
like it
avoided the entirety of the fight doing it.
yeah, you avoided everything too. And it
Like
was
I'm
funny because when the bug apparently was like a thing for over a year, and it was kept like hush hush. No one was talking about it except a few people. Because some of my friends they told me they knew about this bug like 9 months before it was removed, and when the bug happened, someone told me about it, and I was like shit. So I went to test it out with one of my friends. I'm not gonna name his name because he already got a temporary ban recently, so he's not gonna be happy that I threw him under the bus. But we went to test it out together, and we saw it worked, and we're like, what the fuck, this is crazy. And I thought it would only avoid like the basic attacks, but you'd have to like flick the ghosts, but it avoided absolutely everything. So you just stood there AFKing Cerberus, getting like 60 kills an hour with your T-bow, and doing like 200 kill trips, your whole task in one trip. it was crazy cracked. And I think I did like 3 tasks of Cerberus, and I was just tutorial skipping for Cerberus. And then Fat Clouds was also did it on stream, and every single, like, I shit you not, every single world of Cerberus, all 3 directions were filled with people doing the bug, and those people that would hop worlds ragging you if you were doing the bug, because you can rag you easily if you step under the alt. It like resets the like the safe spot.
It created its own like little ecosystem in that
Yeah,
moment.
it was crazy, and people were like they would hop in, they would insult the shit out of you, like super offensive insults. They would rag your lore, and then they would hop worlds. You're just like, bro, what the heck? Like,
Well, it makes you think too. That Sepulcher bug. How long has that been in game? Some people were saying it came out with the whole quest speedrunning thing, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's been in the game for a while,
it
and
could
you,
have
you
My
kind of wonder who has abused that.
my best guess for it would be that it came out during the Red X interface changes because that was due to them
True.
changing something server side with the way that like Warden's attacks load on the server just to reduce
Yeah.
strain on them.
Some
And
people
that,
did say it was the last server maintenance update that could have caused
yeah,
it.
that's just from like a tech standpoint. That would be my assumption is that it changed how it registers like damage taken or dealt in there.
that would make sense. That was a pretty interesting bug too.
Yeah. Well, and a big thing with the invocations bug is Jagex is very unclear on what is or is not a bug and what is acceptable and what is not. I do like that they took an approach where, there were reprimands, even if they were a little harsh. I think perms were too harsh. But the fact that they actually said, hey, we're going to take a stance against this, that's great. But they really need to keep that up and be clear with it. Because as it stands, half of the things that work the way they do are because of bugs.
You would also think with people getting banned for the bugs that people wouldn't do that Sepulcher bug, but people still fucking did it. So I mean, I guess making it an example out of somebody was a good thought process on Jagex's end, but realistically, no one's gonna really fucking care.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if they did ban people for that also right after. I
I mean, I
feel
get
like
it.
something like that people would start to worry about,
I tried it for
using them.
one run, but I didn't complete the full run. So I tried to just like kind of see for myself. It was pretty neat, but I didn't even complete a full lap. But like people who completed 1 or 2 laps, whatever. But I mean, if you did it for like the whole day, I don't know. It's just there's Jagex is very inconsistent and very unclear in a lot of things they do, in my opinion.
Yeah, I did not risk it. When I
Agreed.
saw the bug, I didn't even. I'm like, I'm not even doing agility today. Like, there's no way I'm taking a chance on that, bro. I don't trust. I think that like I'm scared that Jagex is gonna do something about it when like there's a 90% chance they won't. So it's just not worth the risk anymore. But hopefully they keep it up. I agree with you, Crayons. If they stop,
Something
then it'll be a bad because people are gonna start abusing more and more.
I was gonna say something funny of note about like people in our clan being affected by it. One person in particular had done a 500 prior to knowing about the bug, and then they got the blade or the fang kit, and then they did a 500 after using the bug. And when they got unbanned, they got their 2 weeks. When they got unbanned, they had deleted the kit off of their fang, even though the first one was gained legitimately. So they had to redo it. So it's just like, how well could they really tell what you did or did not do? Like,
I'm gonna say this that one Jagex sucks. I'm gonna say that. Crayons says Jagex is a fucking piece of shit company, a multi-million-dollar company, and they can't fucking do anything right. But with that being said, there's a bot that I'm keeping track of, called Lemur
the,
Ama.
the Runecraft bot. Yep.
Yes, Lemur Rama. I caught the bot at the crafting guild, and like I think it was like world like 480s or some weird 470, 374, whatever. It's running around with like a rune crafting cape, a D med, and like D chain or something like that. Just like weird, bizarre
Anti-fire
bot
shield.
type gear. Yeah, yeah, like anti dragon fire shield. It's rune crafting wrath runes. So let me try and pull up its temple because I tracked it. Lemur Ama, Lemurama. It's I caught it at 31 mil rune crafting XP, and this was about I think like 6 weeks ago. Currently, It is sitting at 62 mil rune crafting XP.
Holy shit, it's made bank, dude.
And it's doing wrath runes. So
It's like 3 mil an hour or something, right?
Oh, but see, by
Yeah.
Jagex's current standards, that could be a hand-played account who's going to eventually sell it. But until they do, they won't do anything about it.
So the
Which
reason I
is
know it's
a
a
terrible
bot,
stance.
it goes to the crafting guild, and I put down a cannon. So I put
Mhm.
down a cannon, it clicks on the cannon, it runs around. I think it's like a ghost mouse recording type bot or something.
Yeah, it's
But
literally like the worst bot program you could have.
yeah, and so I put a cannon down, it clicks on the cannon, and then it runs like near like the coal or the clay, whatever rocks, and then teleports. Like it does all these like spam clicks as if it's like pulling or withdrawing from the bank, and then it teleports. So
What the
it's
hell?
No,
it's
it's
definitely a
really
bot.
funny. I went there one day to the crafting guild and I saw a cannon by the bank and I was like, that's weird, like just the base. And then I see this bot run in and like fiddle around a few times and then teleport out. And I was talking to Kranz about it later, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "That's this person, right?" And it's the same. Yep, same person. Just been botting every hour for like a month.
You know what's scary though about that? If it is a ghost record, like a ghost mouse recording bot, I'm not gonna name names. I honestly probably shouldn't even talk about it, but it's easy. It's simply that easy. I
Oh, it's the
personally know
easiest thing
someone.
you can do. Yeah, like
No,
it's
it's literally do a ghost mouse recording for like 30 to 45 minutes of one set action, and then make 30 different like profiles of that recording. So like you basically do like 30 hours of the recording or whatever. Um, 30 to 45 minutes per recording. Make like 20 recordings. Make an AHK or Python script that pulls one of the 20 recordings out and then like launches it or whatever. And then after the 30, 40-minute timer is up, it pulls another one randomly. You can literally get away with botting in this game. I'm not saying I've done it. You know, I've had my 2-day bot ban back in 2016. I'll admit that. And the client thing, but it's not worth botting on my account. It's not worth risking it. But I know people who do, and they do this for like 100, 200 mil XP, and Jagex still hasn't been able to detect it. And they say that we can detect it, all this, and that. But honestly, and they ban thousands and thousands of bots a day. So there's definitely going to be ones that slip through the cracks, but their detection system is really not as great as you think. Because you've got to remember, they're still running on their Rune script, which is like a 1998 version of Java or some shit. Like they're not, their shit's so outdated.
Damn, that's actually kind of crazy. I didn't think of that. That's pretty smart.
There's,
Now
I,
watch
I
me
shit
get
you
like
not.
200 mil like wood cutting or something, and like I'm just kidding.
man, Lone has
I
been hitting it hard.
I know someone who has like 5 accounts with 200 mil thieving, and then another person who has like 4 accounts with 200 mil agility.
Jeez, dude.
No, see, we would know if you were botting Lone because if your account is logged in after 8:01 p.m. local your time, it's not you.
That means I've been hacked, dude.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. But actually, I want to go back to a point that, like, when you mentioned about cheat clients, crayons, and then, sorry, I call you crayons. I'm just too used to it.
That's fine.
Your
But
crayons for now.
yeah, you're
Maybe next
crayons until
time.
like my brain like acknowledges the fact that you
You
name
can,
changed
I
this
mean,
morning.
I told people earlier they can just call me Howie. That's like the nickname I go by, like as well.
It's,
But
it's too late. We're gonna have to cut that out of the podcast.
see, that's what I was worried about is like changing the name and
It's
getting
too late.
dragons.
But yeah, about cheat clients, like it's so funny how like they took a super severe stance on cheat clients, and they obviously did it because of ToA, because ToA would become brain dead with cheat clients, like if it tells you what to pray and everything.
Oh,
But then
sure.
as soon as they do that, RuneLite gets Neverlog, RuneLite gets the death animations, and we get like the OP ToA plugin for the puzzle, which is a joke by the way of a plugin. Like
It's just Quest Helper, but for a raid.
Yeah, the Quest Helper plugin is broken.
man, I it's funny because like all these plugins that we have on like RuneLite, they used to be on cheat clients, and it's slowly
Yeah,
merging on RuneLite over time.
that's why I'm salty about getting a 2 week because I should have just waited like an extra week. They literally added all those plugins like a week later.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, hopefully we get more cheat clients on RuneLite.
Yeah, and before we get like one click bone altar or some shit.
Oh my gosh, dude! I remember that plugin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even like once we got the shift click use, like it wasn't even that big of a deal, that plugin. But before then, that was like so broken.
Yeah, the shift clicks, like the custom swapper. That's another reason why I used client was the custom swapper. It was just really nice during like Slayer where I could like left click my loot pile for like rune items when I'm barraging neck reels and not click on the neck reel.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
or
true.
like or like having shift and then clicking under instead of shift click under because like I don't like how that like the gap for my fingers. I just have it set as my like escape key. So I can just shift click under.
Oh, that's
I
smart.
basically I reroute my my shift key to my escape key.
I can't do
Actually
that. My
now
escape key is my inventory, so I'd get fucked.
yeah. Don't tell me you're one of those people that like they use their inventory as the escape and their spec as F1 and then like oh no.
Yeah, that's really me, bro. Fuck.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I'm an F key, like original F key guy.
Where like F1 is
I
F
changed them around, but yeah, I have like the Olm hand grip up on my F1 through like F5 keys.
yeah. I was a PKer before I played in Iron, so that's what I'm used to. Oh, I'm dead. Nope.
Where's Aiden at? I want the strong EU opinion on cheat clients.
Oh, I've not really got that many opinions on cheat clients. I've never really even looked at cheat clients, so I wouldn't even know where to start. But
Just open the
you
plugin
know,
hub. That's a good
Are you a
start.
Steam
yeah.
user?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, no, no. I mean the puzzle helpers that they added were it was quite annoying because I was starting to get a bit more proficient with the light puzzle, where I was able to sort of find patterns and actually do it. And then they added that, and it's just like, oh yeah, just stand on these three tiles and you solve it.
Oh yeah, I hated the flipper for that. I was just bad at it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
okay.
it has made it quite brain dead, really.
Well, I mean, I think on release it's cool that that plugin didn't exist because it was fun to do it normally. But now, like, I kind of want to keep the plugin because I'm too used
Oh,
to
for
it,
sure.
and I always recline my ToAs too. So, but I guess we can move on to the next question, which is the Ironman progression, which has changed over the past couple months given ToA. So let's get Aiden to start first.
Mm.
So, am I right in saying that you still pretty much always rush Bofa, right? You rush the CG, even
Yeah.
with the new progression. Because Fang is strong, but you still need a decent range weapon for wardens and stuff in ToA. Um, it's all right. It feels very stale. The Fangs seem like it's the new blowpipe, isn't it?
It goes in the
Huge.
square hole.
Yeah, just yeah,
Oh my
honestly,
god,
that
dude, I got
meme when
that
it came up,
reference.
it's huge. It's so good. But I mean, I don't want them to nerf it. I don't want them to add like charges to the Fang. I don't think that it fits thematically. But something kind of does need to be done when people are using it. Is it not better over bludgeon nightmare?
It is better.
It's
Yeah, it
A
is.
bludgeon is
stab weapon.
dead.
Yeah, a stab
Hey,
weapon
Bludgeon's
at
better at
nightmare being.
Vedion, okay?
Yeah, okay.
That's about
Yeah.
it.
But I
Because
mean,
you
it
get
is
chainmates.
literally, it is now you get Fang and you can just, it opens up absolutely everything, doesn't it? I mean, it's out DPS in Arclight for Krill,
Our
Dragon
DPS
Hunter
is
Lance for,
Lance, which is crazy,
yeah, like
dude.
literally the only time you would use a Lance is where it's more convenient to have a 4 tick over a 5 tick, which is what the Acid Walk for Vorkath and 4 to 1 on Ormhand. But everything else, I mean, chromatic dragons and stuff like that, yeah, they're just completely just use Fang now and profit.
Yeah, dude, it devalued my Mithril Dragon grind.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Not by
I mean,
much, though, but
it removes the need for that. What is it, 95 Slayer or is it 92 for Hydras?
in 95.
Yeah, 95, which is a huge sort of unlock, isn't it? But yeah, now you just go to ToA, pot a few 150s, and then get it.
Yeah,
I think they should have just made it
my
more.
guy.
I mean,
I
I,
think they
I
should have
got it
made
on
it
a
more
50,
rare.
so yeah.
Oh, I
If
remember
it
you
was,
got it on release, dude. I was editing
Yeah,
my
like,
video episode
yeah.
31 and I saw it. I saw the broadcast.
Oh wait, yours was
Yeah.
a 50?
It could very well have been a 0.
Oh,
I'm.
my,
It was so early.
It was day
I
one,
mean,
dude. It was like 2 hours in.
yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy. Yeah,
I
I knew
think it's
you
A
got it
friend
day
was,
one, but that's
yeah,
crazy.
a
I
friend
think
was
it's
telling
too
me to
late.
sell it. I think he had like Articon on DMs, and I
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
yep.
nah, because you just know for a fact that you're gonna go like 300 KC for your next fang.
How much was it if you sold it?
I was getting offered. I think it was 750.
Holy
Um,
fuck, dude.
yeah,
I wouldn't have sold it, to be honest. I would have kept it. Fuck that.
yeah. I mean, it's just money on the alt, really, at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, but you'll make money on the alt doing more raids, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
I feel like it's too late to change the Fangs like drop rate, but I feel like it should have been on the same drop table as the staff maybe, and that would have been a little bit better.
Oh,
Or at
So then
least
ToA
some
so many
drop
more would not have
rates.
came into game.
Honestly, they could
ToA
have made it
drop
as
rates
rare
are
as the
just
staff.
wrong. They're just
It's
wrong
it's
across
OP.
the
It's
board.
I mean I'd rather get a Fang than a staff. I feel like at this point.
Yeah, it's more
useful.
useful than the staff, I think. But I think then what do you replace the fang with? So there
The
would be then
shield.
the light bearer is terrible and the shield is terrible, and then you've got the same problem of the arcane and dex for Cox, right?
Hey, I'll take a
Yeah.
I mean,
shield.
at
That's
least
the best in slot upgrade for Slayer for me.
Yeah, it's funny how many people are you'll see it in the CC, like they'll get annoyed that they get a shield or a ring, and I'm like, that's like a best in slot item, like in a ton of places. Like
It's like
why?
a
Dude,
plus
don't
one or
look at the
plus two
CC.
max hit, I think.
CC is way too spooned, bro.
Like
It's like
Yeah.
when Trexie was
yeah, how
complaining
many
about
fangs do you
like
have, Lone?
0. It's like when Trexie was like 30 KC, or a little more. It was like 50 KC. He's on drop rate for 2 purples, and he has 4 rings, and he's complaining like crazy. And I'm just like, bro, I have 1 ring, and that's it. And I'm like, twice your kill count. Like, what do you mean, dude? You're
All you gotta
spooning.
do is get a 2-week ban, and then your RNG just goes through the
Oh,
roof.
man, I don't
Pulls
want to
his
talk
fucking
about that,
chaps,
dude.
back-to-back shadow, 4KC enhanced.
Now see, that's the real bug abuse, is that they accidentally condensed the RNG over those 2 weeks of not being able to log in.
Yeah.
Man, that I was so tilted, bro. Ugh.
For those not aware, Trexie got a unique shadow into a unique chaps into a 3 kill count enhanced crystal seed.
Within 24 hours, basically.
Yeah.
1 KC minion Tassie or something too. Like
Oh yeah, just add
same
that
day.
on.
That was crazy. You just didn't
His
stop.
RNG is like dry for the next month.
But I think like overall the Iron Man progression, for me anyways, I think it's cool that ToA was added. I do agree that the drop rates should have been. I think it just should have been where if you do in regular entry mode, you don't get any purples.
Big agree.
That's what
Yeah.
they did. That's what it is in Tob. But Tob, I think, is different because Tob, when they created Tob, they didn't. Dude, what am I doing? I haven't even made my fucking. I'm washed, bro. I can't do Volcano. What happened with Tob is when they made when they released Tob, they didn't really design it like a user friendly type of raid. It was really catered to the high level community, and it was made difficult.
And it's the best raid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is the right way to go about raids, really. I think raids are end game. You can add little niche things for the mid game players and, have little throwaway raids that don't really give much, just maybe give supplies, like the TOB supplies. But you can see the problem with ToA. The ring is such a good item, and it's sitting at about 10 mil.
It's
This
just
is a problem, isn't it?
It's ToA, and I realized ToA was way too easy when, like, last night I took an edible. I was super high. We were a bunch of casuals doing 300s, casually flowing through, no stress, making mistakes everywhere, getting kill count, like, no sweat. And I'm like, this raid is way too easy, like, for, I guess I'm just too used to Tob, maybe. But the raid is
it
not
is
difficult.
remarkably easy once you know the mechanics. The skill ceiling is incredibly low.
300 sits very nicely between the Cox difficulty and TOB, normal mode.
Agreed.
Lone,
I
I'm
think when
gonna
you
send
start
you
to,
I'm gonna
Sorry.
send you a picture. I'm gonna send you a picture, and if you want to show it on screen, you can. But it's funny because and the reason I say this is because people that's how tobbers. So like, so how you said raids is supposed to be end game, right? Raids is end game. You shouldn't be going there with, for example, that picture, a glory, a Nezi helm, and a tent whip
Mhm.
with 90 strength, 90 attack, asking for an invite to Tob. You know,
Yeah.
like I hated seeing like level 100s asking to go to Tob, and it's like, dude, why don't you get a Fury or something at least? You know, they just try to rush the end game content, and basically that's how ToA is now, where you see level like 90 cute noobs with a staff,
Oh, Billy Bob, man.
Billy Bobs. I'll send this to you too, Aiden.
Well, that's another problem too. Like, I don't remember who was it. What was the guy's name? It was Iron on a PC who did the math
Mhm.
calcs about like how items are worth it, and he was calculating like if you want to do chambers completion, how much time saves does grinding prims give you, over how long does it take to grind, and turns out like everything was inefficient, and like the items don't give you that much of a boost as you would think. But that
Oh, and
that
that
does
goes for a
assume like,
ton of items
oh
too.
yeah, it's like even a Dragon Warhammer wasn't worth it. But like the thing is that you're not supposed to see it that way, because that's like if you wake up tomorrow morning like I'm making an Iron Man, I'm finishing chambers, and I'm logging out. That's not like an actual mindset you would have. So it's like contradictory at the same time. But it's interesting to see that gear is actually not as important as like knowing what you're doing, understanding the mechanics, not making mistakes.
Oh yeah, skill and then skill level and then gear is generally the most important.
It's like when I was learning Inferno, I think it was Rescued who told me like good gear just buys you mistakes.
Hmm.
So if you have a T-bow, you could fuck up a little more on Zuck and you'll be fine, as opposed to someone with a crossbow. So it's like, and like if you have a Kodai, you have one more at restore, so you can flick less and so on. So it's, but yeah,
I think another interesting aspect for Iron Man progression that doesn't get talked about as much because a lot of people are more PVM focused is how skilling has changed. Almost everything that was tedious before in the last few years now has like a mini game or a boss, just a much faster, more efficient way to get up in levels. Like if I were to go and make an account and try and max it, I'd probably shave off 6 months from what my previous max time was.
Yeah, everything's always going to get devalued. I mean, that's like the like so for example, like Hebox doing the speed max or the speed run for max or whatever, that's going to get devalued in like 5 years. Um, it's just bound to happen. But
yeah, with updates, that's kind of the point of updates, to add like to make things faster.
Oh, for
Otherwise, people
sure.
would not want to do the new content if it's slower. Like
Herblore
imagine
con,
if like Guards of the Rift was like freaking 20 XP an hour. You'd get the outfit and never do it again.
Yeah. Oh, and Guardians is pretty good at solid skilling content.
Yeah, I kind of enjoy it too, actually.
it is pretty good. Duos are really nice. I was getting like 75k rune crafting. That's like almost EHP, I think.
Yeah, and like, you get like pet roll and all that too. So, but okay, you guys want to move on to the next topic?
Yeah, I think like we've pretty much covered. You get the Bofa, you get the Fang, and the rest of the game's open.
You just PVM afterwards.
Yeah. My joke about it was you get those, then you get full Torva, and then you start your Slayer grind. Maybe do Dragon Slayer 2 and get the Assembler afterwards.
Oh my
Polar
god.
Riol and get like max combat, and then still have a Ava's accumulator. No one understood
You
that.
go on.
Yeah,
You
fuck
talk about
Raul's a spoon, dude. Just don't even talk about it.
you talk about Torva. That's a whole different problem, really, isn't it? That's the next problem, which hopefully will get solved at some point in the next, I don't know, 6 months.
For
Oh,
Tom?
Fasani's
Because the
next,
What's wrong with
man.
Torva?
no, Torva, it's a terrible drop rate. Nex is a terrible boss. The rates
Oh
are too
yeah,
high.
click
Oh, dude,
yellow
fuck
potion
next,
simulator.
man. I hate it so much. I just
It's
didn't
not
do it.
bad now though with the Fang and like the full Masoris. Like it's pretty
Yeah, I
fucking
saw
dope.
duos are like I
Yeah.
saw a jukebox video on it. It looks pretty chill.
And then you get
Yeah.
the spec ring, the light bearer with ZCB specs.
Yeah.
Like
Now you see
I mean,
when
that's essentially why I'm trying to.
Arcane, when he was talking about the 45% better weapon, he was talking about the Fang. It didn't actually exist yet, but
yeah,
Oh man, dude. That's actually like one of the that's actually a miscellaneous question. I'm gonna wait for later. But we can move on to the next topic, which is account security.
what account
oh boy,
security?
Yeah,
I'll
so
go last on this
basically,
one. I'll go last.
I feel like we have to mention it because like Jukebox in their ramble they mentioned it too. Like we just
Mhm.
have to fucking keep mentioning it and hope that Jagex like actually listens. Now I know I'm saying like we're like saying Jagex and all that. Like I don't blame the mods whatsoever. Like I'm really blaming Jagex as the upper management level.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like they're the ones that need to like realize to throw money on this. Like I think it's so cringe that you have an option to hide your username when you log into the game. How fucking stupid is that?
Why do you hate that though?
Like, in what game do you have to hide your username because you're scared you won't be able to play anymore if someone finds out what your email login is?
I mean,
Yeah,
fair.
That
that
like
is
that's so
pretty
stupid,
silly.
dude. It's actually so dumb and it makes no sense. And that's actually part of one of my really strong takes against Jagex upper management, and that is that if any other game industry that's currently alive did something like this, they would immediately die and no one would play the game. But because we're so fucking addicted to this game for nostalgic purposes, we don't care, we suck it up and play anyways. But in reality, this company should die because it's so badly managed in terms of account security. It's cringe. People getting hacked left and right, the recovery being super easy.
Yeah, they don't care
Yep.
because if you get hacked, you're a what? You're just like a small number. You're irrelevant to the match.
12.49 a month gone. They say, oh well.
It's like, oh man, I really hope they do something, and they could do something small. Like they can start off with saying like having options that you cannot recover your account even if you
How
try.
about adding an authenticator delay?
That
Everyone
Authenticator
too.
has been
delay.
saying that for years.
Or
It's
adding
been
capital
3.
letters to your password.
Oh yeah, case sensitive, and that's just a small. That's just something that's like bizarre to me. They don't
Case,
have in place. Like,
it's
yeah.
yeah, it just tilts me,
Even though
man.
all those things will make your account security like a lot better, yes. However, oh hold on, loan. I need a bank. However,
I'll bank too.
it. So coming from a cyber background,
mhm.
there's, I mean, nothing is 100% proof of being penetrated. Everything is, anything can be hacked. However, it determines how hard and how much trouble you put that hacker through to gain access to unauthorized data, whatever information, whatever. But with this, let's say you have 2FA on your email. If they get into your email, they can basically remove the authenticator. I feel like there should be a delay, like a 1 or 2 week delay to remove authenticator on your account, or like like a bank pin, 3 days, 7 days, whatever you want it set as. That's one step. The second step would be, case sensitive passwords. That's okay, yeah, but um, majority of the accounts that get hacked are basically being force recovered, and basically it's people sending in information about you and your account to try to get an appeal, and they do this they send like dozens of reports every day for like a
It's
year,
kind
and
of
eventually
a.
they'll get something right.
It's a sad state of the game where like you don't want to give out any of your details, your name, anywhere you live. Like you want to be as anonymous as possible, just because you might get recovered.
Yeah. I know back in the day, I had a buddy who did this. Well, I wouldn't say a buddy. I knew of a guy. Um, I think I forgot what hacker forum he was on, but it was back in like the OS Buddy days. He had he would do SIM swapping. So he would basically find out information through PayPal, donations on Twitch or like Amazon, things like that, and basically find your emails and basically try to link them to either PayPal or Amazon, and then try to find a credit card number or a phone number. And with SIM swapping, he would basically SIM swap like to gain access to your phone or your phone number, and would in turn uh, do the request for the email where it sends the auth code to your phone, and he'd basically be able to get access to it and, you know, change your email, take your auth off, hack your email, change your password, take authenticator off, etc. Like it's very complex, but it's a real thing, and it's just the account security with Jagex is fucking dog shit. It's bizarre, and the fact that they came out with
It's
a
still
blog
stuck in 1998.
dude, they came out with a blog like 3.5 years ago talking about account security, and they just never bothered to circle back around to it because they're fresh start worlds is more important because they can get it, they can skim like an extra $10 a month off of these people that are gonna play these fresh start accounts or whatever, and then transfer them to the main game. Like they're more stuck on trying to make more money and milk the fucking game than actually care about the players and account security.
Dude,
Bank
fresh
pins
start
can be
worlds,
cracked.
dude. Oh, so
There used to be a glitch with bank pins, like 2 or 3 years ago, where you type in the bank pin. So you, for example, you can start at 000. I think you try like 2 or 3 times, and then you log out and log back in, and it doesn't have that, you know, like 15-second, 60-second delay when you enter in the wrong bank pin.
also
Yeah,
just
you
type
can
it
just
down and brute
force
force it.
Yeah, people would just brute force your bank pin over the course of like 3 days, and they would set up bots to do so.
Oh my gosh, dude! What the?
Yeah.
That's
So
such a stupid oversight.
all you do is you log out after like 2 attempts, and you re-log back into the account, and you get 2 fresh new attempts, and you have no like 15-60 second delay or whatever it
So
is.
it takes you 5,000 tries, and if you set up a
It
bot
would
script to do it, you get it in no time.
exactly. I mean, it's
Oh
it's
my
just
gosh.
even something simple as adding 2 digits to your bank pin, or even 1 digit. Instead of having a 4 digit, make it 5 or 6.
Or give it an
Complex
option between 4 to 6. You know, you can like.
Authenticator is a good thing, but the fact that it can be removed off your account if your email is recovered is dumb. Now, people should have two. Now, Jagex is always like, if you have 2FA on your account, you have 2FA on your email, and you have on your phone, backup codes, all this stuff. Like, you're never gonna get hacked. That's not true, though. All you have
No,
to do is find one
100%.
flaw, one loophole, one backdoor, one open whatever, and you can get through it. I mean, look at what happened to Banff. You know,
Banff, no use, got hacked recently.
now
Same exact situation.
with those, whether they, I mean, you could never know if they had 2FA and auth, all that stuff on, or if they got ratted. You know, people get hacked from keylogs, all that stuff, phishing emails and stuff. It's easy. You know, it's not that hard to rat somebody. But it's also scary because they can get all that information off your computer, etc. I mean, there's being in the cyber like industry, like as an IRL job, it's just there's so much information that I'm trying to like process faster than what I'm actually like talking about. So that's why I'm like speaking really fast. But there's dude, it's just it's absurd. And like if your account, you know, if you bought your account way back in the day, it can be recovered instantly,
Yep.
like
Yep.
with information. So maybe people are saying Banff might have bought his account off of a friend, or a friend gave him the account. You know, if that's the case, then I mean that's the risk you take. But
Well, needless to say, the account security is shit. That's the conclusion of this discussion, and hopefully something happens in the near future. And if
Yeah,
not, we're gonna keep talking about it until something does happen.
there's definitely a lot they could do, and it's been ongoing for years.
oh, we're not even in. I've been
Dude, you're in
posting the wrong world.
Oh,
Posting the
you're
wrong
so
world this whole
washed.
time.
But
Yeah,
yeah. So I guess you mentioned fresh start worlds, crayons, and I think we have to discuss that because
Dog shit. Next question.
yeah, that's basically what we should be talking about.
I mean, essentially, Fresh Start Worlds has the same issue that no account security does, is that executive management at Jagex has looked at it and deemed it to, in Fresh Start World's case, make money, and in account security's case, to not make money. And that's all the details they looked at and said, okay, make that happen.
Yeah, it's
And
just it's obviously a money grab, and you know it's a money grab because you cannot use your actual account. You have to make a new account and pay for membership, and you can't log into the Fresh Start World, you can't log into the regular world to get a bond. you have to log into the Fresh Start World directly. So the only way you can get a bond is if you bond yourself through RS3 or if you pay, which just makes it more like annoying. And like they say it's for new players so they can like experience the game, but what's the difference between me doing a Fresh Start World or me joining the main game? There's like literally no
Well,
difference.
what new player would join and say want to do a quest, go to look up how to get said item, maybe try and buy it on the GE and see it's like 500k because it's rare, and people aren't. It's not just mass farmed into the game at this point. Like they're gonna have to self-sustain a ton of things, whereas in the main game they have a player base that's active and advanced and can help them.
Wait, let me see how many people are on that. How do you see Fresh Start Worlds?
They're all
you can see it on the
orange
RuneLite
highlighted.
plugin.
One thing with Fresh Start Worlds though is it's dumb that they made it a 6-month cap or whatever, and then you're just gonna get converted to the main game. If they really wanted to like sell out, and I mean, I think this would be a good marketing strategy for Jagex, make a 2007 Escape style world, but only have one world. Like for example, like I mean, on day of release, sure, have 10 different worlds, but after like 6 months, it goes to one world, just like Deadman mode. Deadman mode is a different type of game mode, and it's limited to one world. They should do that with a Fresh Start World, but like the 2007 Escape, so no updates past God Wars Dungeon, and I feel like a lot of people would play it and have it only limited to like 1 or 2 worlds, depending on how popular it is, like 6 months down the road. That would have been a good money grab, I think.
Yeah, to do it like the permanent DMM world and
Yeah.
eventually just phase it out. Or
Yeah.
even if like you said, they did it 07 style and started it back at the very initial release of Old School RuneScape, I think that would have drawn a little bit more interest.
Yeah, for sure. The Fresh Start World is so dumb because you get converted 6 months down the road. So your 500 mil bank is now 12 mil.
The economy is going to be weird too at the end, because like what's going to happen near like the end of Fresh Start Worlds is people are going to see that like this item is worth 2 mil on Fresh Start World but worth 3 mil on the main game. They're going to buy it. So the economy is going to basically go perfectly balanced with the OSRS economy near the end, because people are going to buy shit that's cheaper in Fresh Start World to sell it back in the main game. It's going to be very strange. You're going to see the economy like hit an asymptote to the main game economy.
There'll be dips as well in cost of items, because
big time,
every
yeah.
6 months there will be a huge influx of Ranger boots, every rev weapon.
People
I mean, there's
dump
going to
it on the
be
GE.
like,
It's going to be so weird.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
you would hope they only ever do it once, but it's hard to say.
No, honestly, dude, they should have just brought Skill of the Week or Skilling Comp, whatever it was. King of the Skill.
King of the
That's what it was.
Skill.
That's what they should have done. They fucked
Oh,
up
that's
not
been
doing that.
gone for so long.
Man,
It only took them like a year to send Wooks his fucking gift or whatever.
who cares about the gifts, dude? People do it for fun. They should have just fucking had it instead of Fresh Start Worlds, and I'm sure people would have loved it. I would have probably tried it.
It would be interesting to have a King of the Skill again. That was a lot of fun back then.
Yeah, people are so efficient nowadays. It would be cracked to see that. But
I mean, we could also just talk about servers, how dog shit servers are.
oh yeah, that's
What do you
That's
mean?
a long topic. We won't go down
I'm
that.
at 85% good tick rate right now. That's perfect.
I just hate how if the world has over 500 people, the world's gone to shit.
dude.
Yeah.
The ToA FFA worlds is like 1,000 people in the world, and the
Oh,
worlds are
Lord.
so laggy. So no one runs Insanity. Everyone runs Walk the Path instead. It's so funny, dude. Like you're doing.
I just love how
Warden and you
Jagex
just
is like,
tick the
yeah, no,
race.
there's Jagex just is like they won't admit like, no, our servers are completely fine. If there's 1,000 people in the world, it doesn't affect the servers in any way. That is a fucking
Yeah, it
lie.
won't affect the surveys if you're doing Redwoods, but if you're PVMing, it'll affect you.
Yeah.
Kappa, dude. Oh, sorry. Let's move on. Like, so the next topic is future content in OSRS. So I mean, you guys seen the survey that they ran recently, like for what kind of
Yep.
content we'd like to see? I haven't seen it, so I'm
Yep.
kind of like lost.
Oh,
Aiden, have you seen it? Have you read
I can.
it?
I've not read the recent. No,
Oh, how about you?
I don't think
927 you
that.
did?
Yeah, I took it. I had the time. The biggest takeaway I saw that looks kind of like the thing they want to push, since last time it was all about new types of game worlds, such as or modes, which obviously they did, um, is they had a lot of talk about private servers and whether or not there would be an interest in either modded or private servers of RuneScape
What the
Cringe.
fuck, dude?
that they like officially support. Like they create the server essentially. They like you buy said server like moderatorship, and you can, from there on it's your Minecraft server. You can spawn in items or create things, whatever they let you do.
Just
And
have a beta
practice
world.
content? Oh, dude, that's what the fuck,
They,
man.
they could just have like a
Yeah.
beta world that saves or something. I don't know.
I
I mean,
was I
I
was
guess it's not a
highly against it. Highly against it. It's just it's detracting from the main game, and it's incentivizing basically whales to come in and pay a bunch of money to get all the gear they want for them and their friends
And
on
fuck
a small
around.
server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
did you did the survey, right?
Yeah.
Did they have a question about 120 or 200 mil capes?
Oh, they did actually.
Dude, I want 200 mil capes in this fucking game. Give me a fucking 200 mil hunter cape.
It wasn't specifically, I don't think, for capes, but just should there be like an incentive type of thing for reaching a maximum skill cap.
They should definitely, dude. RS3, like that's one thing they have going for them is the 200 mil or the 120 capes, which I don't think 120 capes would fit in old school. It would have to be like a 200 mil cape. But then
Yeah,
people,
just because it goes to 126, so like 120
yeah.
would be pointless.
But then Reddit users are gonna be like, oh, but it devalues my 99 strength cape or my 99 cooking cape. Well, yeah, no, it should. And then they're like, oh,
Yep.
but it makes me incentivized to like go get that cape or whatever. Like I feel like I have to get that cape. No, you don't. You
Yeah,
don't.
there's
Well, it
the
depends
same
Like,
what
argument
perks it
about
gives you. If it gives you like
the
above, then
Grandmaster.
no,
yeah.
it should just be purely cosmetic. It's like a max cape or like a 120 cape variant, but it's a 200 mil cape instead. It's for the people that like skilling and post 99. There's no extra incentive. There's no extra perks. There's no nothing. It's just purely cosmetic. And if you don't want to get it, you don't have to get it. If you feel
Yeah.
like you have to get it, well, fucking figure your life out. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, they
But
already put ornament kits on every item, sometimes several times over. Why not for a cape, Like, sure, we have trimmed, but make skill cape O, the ornamental 126 version. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
the
that
thing
would
is
be
though
fine.
too,
I agree with that.
there's over I think there's 3,000 almost 3,000 people now with 200 mil cooking. Like we're 34 or 33 people with 200 mil all. I'm 200 mil hunter and that's rank. I mean, there's almost top page for iron filled with 200 mil hunter, and then on mains it's
Didn't
like
ask, but all
300.
right.
I'm just saying, like there's a lot of people with 200 mils, so it's not like it's like a niche community of people that only have 200 mils, and that you're prioritizing like a the small 1%. I mean, it's probably still 1%, but it's not like there's like 1,000 people that it would only incent or benefit.
I
Yeah,
think
also
also like,
it's
oh, go ahead.
oh, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Fine.
It's
I'll
all
go.
you.
I think like the reason why people are upset is because most people when they play this game they feel like the need to get everything, and you shouldn't necessarily be able to get everything. Like obviously you're not able to get all third age. Some like PVM items like a Zuck Helm or an Inferno Cape is not necessarily feasible for everyone either, depending on like your skill level or your PC condition. If you're playing on a shitty laptop, a Zuck Helm is probably not feasible for you. But like people need to get that mentality away from them and just accept the fact that some things are just not for me, and I shouldn't necessarily be forced to get it. Because I'm sure if they pull that 200 mil cape, people are gonna be saying, "Oh, no, you're making me have to do 200 mil XP and a skill." Like, no, you do what you want to do, bro. Like, jeez.
Oh, that's like a whole topic of people that just don't have fun playing because they put weird restrictions on themselves.
Yeah, it's man.
Like just have fun. If you're not having fun, do something else. Perfectly
Exactly.
fine.
That should be everyone's mentality in this game, but unfortunately, it's not the case.
No.
And you
You
have
have to
people
stay.
complaining about CG being too hard, and
You have to stay until you get the BOFA, otherwise you can't do
CG
any other
sucks.
content.
oh yeah, CG
All right.
sucks, but like
I hate CG, dude. I'm so glad I got Spoon 2 enhances.
CG sucks, but it doesn't mean that it should be made easier. You know, it's just like
Well, no, yeah. I think it's a pain. It's like 10 minutes a kill or 8 minutes a kill, whatever. Like it's so. I mean, realistically, it's really not that long of a grind. I think it's like what 50 or it's like 80 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that's not
yeah,
bad.
a little less, but yeah, it's compared to other grinds, it's not that bad. But yeah, okay, I got a little tilted from that. Sorry. All right, let's move on to the other problem. So also okay, so did you guys read the new Combat Achievements reward proposal that they made?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
checked
yeah.
that out.
What do you think about it, Aiden? You can go first.
I like everything that was proposed. I think that there was some that were lackluster, but I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to make sure that they're not putting too many things through so that they don't just fail constantly. I imagine that over the course of the next 6 to 10 months, there's going to be more things added to it because the GM and the master ones, it's nice that you get to attach your Avernic to something so that you can at least flex your hilt, but the thralls it's like okay, this is cool,
It's
but
bad
it's not going to
design for the
change my
thralls.
yeah yeah. There's definitely other things that they can do to it, and hopefully eventually they will add the other things. But I don't know. I think the idea that has been bandied around a little bit. I can't think who said it first, but like the Dragon Warhammer guaranteed hits and stuff for a GM player.
Oh, I saw
People are going to
Sabe
lose their
tweeting
mind
about
over
that.
that.
That's
Is it Saber,
crazy.
right? Yeah.
Wait,
Well,
was that an actual like suggestion?
well, Sebe said if you have full
Oh,
Inquisitor, your hammer is 100% accurate, but only for like lowering defense, not for like damage.
mm.
Which like all it will do is basically lower the
If you hit a
variance.
0, it's still yeah.
Exactly, because if
Make
it'll lower the
everything a lot
variance
more
for
consistent.
speedrunning instead of like resetting because you had bad RNG, you'd like guarantee the RNG of your
Ooh,
hammers.
I just
That's
gained like
fine.
a giant brain theory behind that actually. If you have one of the kitted Avernix equipped and you Dragon Warhammer, if you hit a 0, you still get partial reduction.
That yeah, so and it
That would
wouldn't
be
even be
like
that bad too.
perfect. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be pretty
Just
well
make things a little bit
balanced.
more consistent, less resetting for CMs, solos, and stuff.
Because
I
that's
don't
one
know.
thing I hated for my Chambers grind. I would pace a run and then miss my hammers on Ohm, and that was over.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
runs over at that point.
Just accept my fate. But for me personally, for the common achievements, I agree with absolutely everything. For Zuckhelm, though, I think it's a very slippery slope. I feel like Zuckhelm should have no rewards except for the helm, and you put all the rewards on the Master Helm instead. Because that way, if you see someone with a Zuckhelm, you know that they did it for the prestige of the helm and not for the rewards, which should be the idea behind the Zuckhelm. But with this change, if it goes through, people are going to be complaining about some of the Zuckhelm challenges and asking for them to be easier, and I find it's a slippery slope long term.
I just can't wait to see people have thralls at Ulm and it like kills the hand because it's been out for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's not the best Grandmaster edition. I think just removing the book is what I've seen proposed as like a much better and like useful thing for
That'd be
Master,
really nice.
Grandmaster.
Yeah, +1
Yeah.
inventory too.
I've even seen it's not just the inventory; it's that you have to remember the book.
Oh
And
yeah.
like I've
Oh,
definitely gone into like a raid and not had my book and been like, well, I guess I have no spell book this raid. That's
I think
fine.
that should be like an elite, like an elite reward. If you complete the elites, you don't need to have the book in your inventory to summon a thrall.
Oh, also because you guys are all skillers, the Slayer Superior change is going to be huge in terms of Slayer. It'll
Oh
add a
yeah,
lot of
Yeah,
XP.
Kranz has the math on that. I asked him about it.
Oh really? What's the math behind? I'm curious now.
it doesn't change Slayer a whole lot. So I have a
Barely.
buddy who just recently did 200 mil Slayer. He had like 4,000 superiors. So with a 25% increase in superiors, you're getting an extra 1,000 superiors. Let's say like 2 to 3K XP per superior. It's like 2.5 mil more XP.
Oh damn. I mean, that's still a
It's
decent amount.
it saves you like 50 hours, if that. I mean, it's really not a whole lot. It's just more so for like trying to get a heart or something. I mean, like I'm 44 mil Slayer almost, and I still don't have a heart. I have 2 gems.
And how long do you think it takes to get the elite combat achievements done? I don't know how much time
I
we
did
spent
it.
on
I
that.
did it in like, well, actually, I did it in less than like a week, like 3 days, because I had an argument with some dude on Twitter. That's how I got my 8th Twitter ban. Um, I, the people were commenting on the KC requirements, how they were like so, like they took too long to get the KC requirements for the elites, like because it was what 250 KC.
Yeah, I very disagree with that, by the way. But yeah, keep going.
I flew through all those KCs in like 3 days. I tweeted and I replied. I was like, someone was like, "Oh, it takes over, 200 hours to get all the KCs." I was like, "Dude, I literally did it in 3 days." Like, you didn't play 200 hours in 3 days. I'm like, "No, I like because it doesn't take 200 hours to complete." And I basically called them the R word, and yeah, I got a Twitter ban
You
for
called them a
harassment
RuneScaper?
and hate speech.
For hate speech too? Holy
Hate
shit.
speech. Yeah,
Well, Sid, I guess.
Never
that
used the
was
RuneScape word.
that was before Elon bought it, but I don't know. Anyways, but the they shouldn't have changed the KC requirements. If
I don't
250
think
was
so either.
fine, like
I
in my
think
opinion,
that
they should
the
have
thing
raised
about
it.
it too is that like you're grinding a Zuckhelm achievement, which is like a really like I'm not only Zuckhelm Elite, sure, you're grinding the Jadhelm or whatever, which is an achievement on its own, and this game is fully based on time and putting your time into grinding things. If you're not able to kill 250 grotesque guardians for an achievement, like I don't know what to tell you, dude. Maybe like this game isn't for you. Like I just I don't understand. People are making arguments that like if I can do all the challenges, I shouldn't have to do the KC one, but like the challenges are not difficult. Like I'm sorry, but Grotesque Guardians, all the challenges are pretty easy. The only thing was a gear check for the speedrun time. That's it.
Yep.
That's there's
And you
nothing
can
difficult
even
about that.
you can mitigate that to quite a degree if you're doing like ultimate like techniques on there. If you're challying at the end, if you're spellbook swap, thralls, and vengeance, like you can do it with budget gear. You don't need a
Yeah,
scythe.
I've seen people do a
Yeah,
rapier and
I did it with tent whip and a blowpipe. I didn't even have a bofa until recently, so and I have all the elites done. I almost have all the masters done too.
yeah, which is why I really I'm not happy that they reduced the KC requirements. But like at the end of the day, I had them all anyways, so it didn't really do anything for me except help me for Fasanis. But I had to get the kill count anyways for Fasanis to get the other challenges, so it
It
didn't
was
make a
fun for
difference.
me because I had to do Zammy, and so I learned 5-0 Zammy, and then I had to do Sire, which sucked, but I ended up pulling a 1 KC Sire pet, or like 1 KC sired Sire pet, whatever it is. Yeah. So
Well, I think that's a big drive to do the combat achievements is not necessarily for the helm and the like niche benefits, is to like get out of your comfort zone and try a boss
new
you haven't
boss.
done or
Yeah.
try a more efficient way to do it.
And
Yeah. I
another thing
liked it.
too is the like as an iron, you have to do a lot of bosses to get the gears. So you already have a lot of the KC already. But as a main, most mains don't even touch some of these bosses. Like most mains don't even kill Mole. They don't kill Zora. They don't. They only kill like Vorkath and Zora. Sorry, they only kill Vorkath and Zora, but they won't touch the other bosses because there's no point. They'll just do Tob or Chambers
Mhm.
for money. So when they get those KC requirements, they start from zero, but they don't realize that other people actually have to did the boss for fun and have like KC already, which you should have as well. Like if you have a Zuckam, you're unranked for some of these boss high scores. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, you should be like a well-rounded player if you can get
Exactly.
the helmet.
But yeah,
I have a thing about the whole survey and like the potential upgrades for combat achievements is they mentioned a point-based system, and I'm curious about your guys' thoughts on that. Kind of akin to the like you only have to do 99% of the quests to get the elite diary garbage that I think most people think is silly. Because I would be fine if it's point-based and Grandmaster still takes everything, but up to that point you can kind of mix and match to get there, just because some of them may be preference, or honestly if I could never do Temperos 50 kills I would have been a lot happier.
yeah, that was
Who
that's funny. That's on the combat achievements, but yeah,
who
whatever.
came up with the you can get a quest cape and the fucking diary requirements if you have 99% of the quest done? Like
It's
that seems like
Yeah,
an Aiza question to me.
Honestly, dude, like I think it's a slippery slope if they make that CA change for the percentage based or point based,
Mhm.
because people are just gonna keep complaining and making it easier and easier. You have to
For
set like
sure.
it was designed this way. That's what it is. Like you don't like it, don't do
99% of
it.
the quests, that's like what? You're missing 2 quests? Do the other 2 fucking quests.
I think that's because of what RNG was telling me. Is he said he thinks it's because of Night of the Theater. People are brick walled by that quest, and I do agree that
Which,
should have been a mini quest, not a
yeah,
quest.
should never have been a quest,
Wait,
but
how are people
it
brick walled
is.
by that quest?
Because if you don't PVM, it's actually like kind of hard to solo it. But I think it's because people don't know you can
Uh,
pay someone to carry you or find someone to carry you or learn it
okay,
yourself.
I maybe understand that, but what? Do you not have friends in the game?
No, most
No.
people no.
No.
But
Then
yeah, I don't like that change either. I think it's a slippery slope as well. But it's probably gonna pass. Like,
you could just send a duo or like a soul, like even if you're a shit player.
bro, I did a
Solo is so
solo
easy.
entry mode with free to play gear on release when it came out, within like a
I,
day of
the
release.
only the
It's
only
not
problem
difficult.
with the
It's just
solo mode or the entry mode is Nilo. Nilo is
yeah,
like
because people are not able to
All you
switch
have
gears
to do is
fast
like
that's they
one-way
just need to
switch though. You just switch weapon and you're fine.
or
well.
spam ice barrage and blood barrage and you're fine.
I think they should make
Yeah.
it shorter though too. Like the
Yeah, it
Nilo
is long.
entry is really it's like 8 minutes.
But
Yeah,
just
it's like
yeet
Baba
it
Puzzle, you
instead of
know?
doing the 99% of a quest thing. Night of the Theater, make it a mini quest, and that's it. Do nothing else.
Hmm.
And if people still complain, then like I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe the new quest is too difficult for you. Like,
Yeah, hey, maybe you're not elite enough for the Elite Diary. That's okay. You don't need to be.
like, yeah.
Like, stick to chopping maples behind Sears Bank. You're fine. Like, it's not for you.
But I guess we can go to the miscellaneous questions because some of these are quite interesting. So the first one, and I want to start off with Aiden because I feel like this is a really skiller question. But what do you think would happen if the high scores were not capped at 200 mil XP?
Oh, gross. I'd be one Bill Hunter.
Yeah. There would have to be a cap though at the end, surely, wouldn't there?
Well, if you look at boss high
Otherwise,
scores, there's no caps.
There I feel like there would be a cap because of their code. It would be like 2.147 mil XP or some weird shit.
yeah,
Yeah, like an integer value you'd have to hit eventually.
it'll be
There's
similar to that,
because
like
of the
for
games,
boss
the way the
scores as
game's
well.
coded. Yeah, there would have to be a value that it hits, which I feel like is why I don't know why. I might be wrong, but I think someone was saying the max integer would have been like 214 mil anyways. So that's why they rounded it to
down.
200. I might be wrong. That's just kind of like a rumor that I heard.
That would make sense because 200 mil is kind of arbitrary. It's like a random perfect digit.
Yeah, well, also too is no one back then they never thought anyone would hit 200 mil in a skill. Like,
Yeah, that too.
Or 99.
yeah, way back. Yeah.
I just I think it'll be funny to see like some degenerate just doing Winter Todd, like being rank 1 because he's done the most Winter Todd, and like nothing else behind it.
All I would imagine to see about that is potentially seeing Jebram as actually rank 1 agility and hopefully like dying in the process. That would be ideal, I think.
Because he'd have 200 mil on. He'd done agility only on one account instead. That's true.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I mean, other than it being Jebram, yeah, it'd be cool.
But imagine if like today, like randomly, they decided to yeet the 200 mil cap. Like how fucking weird would that be? Like on the high scores,
I would definitely have a 1 mil black chin.
just full send black chins, dude. Nothing else, dude.
Yep.
But
I think on that subject, especially because I wanted to hear a little bit what Aiden had to say about it too. Like, Aiden, do you have any like 200 mil you would realistically go for?
I think we were talking about this today, weren't we? The rune crafting, I would only go for a 200 mil if there was a realistic chance of me getting on front page for something to lock it in, because otherwise I don't really think there's much.
That's kind of what
There's much
pursued me when I started.
what can you get
With,
200 mil and lock it in now? Because nowadays it's like
Well, I mean, rune crafting isn't actually that unfeasible. I was looking at it today. There's a few people like the top four or five are like really close to 200 mil. Oh, sorry, there are a couple that are actually 200 mil, but when it drops down to like the 15th place and stuff, you're looking at like 90 mil experience, and they're not gaining regular XP in runecrafting. It's not like they're currently pursuing 200 mil,
That's how it
so
was
it'd
for
be
me.
quite easy.
My first was range. I wanted to hit 200 mil range and just have like a top rank or whatever, top page rank. And it took me like a year and a half or so to get it. And I was keeping like a notepad of like, okay, rank 25 is at 80 mil XP, and then after like 6 months they're at like 110 mil XP. So I'm like, okay, this is obtainable. And so that's how I kind of went for a 200 mil. I wanted to hit a top page rank.
And
And
you're
then
rank 11. That's cool. I didn't know you were rank 11 on.
I could have had 9, but I when I was doing 200 mil range, obviously I was hunting chins. I did hunter or what was it? I stopped doing hunter, and I did thieving and fire making within that time of the stop and stop and go. So if I would have just full sent hunter and done range, I would have been ranked like 9 or 8 probably. But because I also did 200 mil thieving and fire making within that time frame, like as during breaks, then yeah. Motherfuck, my dog rolled in dirt. Hold on.
Oh, here's one, especially because we talked about the subject of rune crafting. There is a player named Fimbria who is an iron and I think is on like a 50 million or something runecraft month right now.
What the fuck? Just full
Yeah,
7 day out.
so yeah. So Kranz talked to this person because they're in Hexus, and they did a little over 7 million day alt essence, almost
Oh my
all, if not
gosh.
all, 1.5 tick,
No way,
which
they
is like
1.5 ticked. Oh god, that's so
seven
painful.
over 700 hours just like for 7 million. Um, and they have enough now for 200 million. And if this person keeps up like a decent rate, I would guarantee if they don't burn out, they're the next 200 mil runecraft for irons, even though they're at like a major deficit. I wrote it down here earlier because I've been like fanboying over these numbers for a while. Let me see.
Fimbria is currently 76 mil.
But you can get
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
120 KXP an hour at
Yeah,
ZMI easily, so.
yeah, Fimbria's done 47.5 mil runecraft in the last month.
Jeez.
And they have a deficit of the next first place, like the next 200 mil closest is 66 million ahead of them, but 100% Fimbria will catch up and overtake them if they don't only do runecraft.
Yeah,
And as long
Fimbria.
as Fimbria doesn't burn out, it's crazy. Like that's like an insane accomplishment.
I talked to Fimbria a couple days
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
He's he or she, I don't know, but they're in Hexus, and I didn't even know that. But yeah, they have 7.5 mil day alt banked.
Yeah,
hmm I was
927
talking
just said
about that.
that.
It's all
It's
like
cracked.
1.5 ticked.
It's
Yeah, because
fucking
I was
crazy.
saying, guarantee if nobody else pushes for it, they're the next 200 mil runecraft.
Lone, if that's my dog right now
What?
on Discord.
Oh. Oh shit. Bruh.
Bruh, come on. My dog's white or was white. Now he's
Like dark
Not
looks
so
like a
gray.
husky.
much.
Looks like a husky. But yeah, what are we talking about? Fimbria?
Yeah, we just
I was just fanboying over Fimbria and their like runecraft. Because you don't see a lot of like up and coming, really intense skillers these days.
Yeah, I feel like it comes in waves now since a lot of people have hit 200 mil, especially within the mains. For irons, though, it's like a on and off type
There's
deal.
still so much real estate for irons.
Oh yeah,
or even like
top,
hardcores and UIM is really free if you go that
top
route.
page is obtainable still, even as a new player. I think. I mean, it would be rough, but it's obtainable.
Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is more
Mhm.
PVM related, but and like economy related. But if, for example, for some reason the Inferno Cape would become tradable, how much do you think it would cost to buy it from the Grand Exchange?
Mm.
So I'll let who
Uh,
wants to go first? I'll let someone go first.
I'll
I,
say
I
I'll say 30 mil.
I think
30
less. I think less, and I have my arguments
less.
later. Yeah,
Wow, yeah. See, I
Yeah.
would have put it like 10 times that. Just
really, like
not for
300 mil.
not for the stats, but the difficulty and like the scarcity. There's not going to be that many people supplying them.
Okay, you want to
Well,
hear my
no.
argument, dude? Because my
If it's
Yeah, yeah,
300
yeah.
mil, there's gonna be a lot of suppliers.
yeah, that's
That's
what, exactly
true.
the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what my
Currently,
argument is that the best moneymaker right now in the game is like Duo Next, and it's like 10 mil GP an hour, and you can do a Zuck run in just over an hour if you're really good. So
That's
meaning that you can
fair.
get a Inferno Cape in like, let's just say 90 minutes if you're like lazy, chilling, recline, not using rigor. 90-minute Inferno Cape. So you can, if it's 400 mil, you'd be making like 250 mil an hour. So I think the Inferno Cape would probably be like just under 10 mil, in my opinion, if it was buyable.
Crazy to think.
Which is nothing because people pay 400 mil for it, like if they buy it.
Oh yeah, easily.
But I think it'll be really funny to see people wearing Inferno capes, and you look them up on the high scores, and they're unranked for Zuck, and you're just like, hmm.
Oh, the old high score system.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this guy just crashed us, Pog. But but not only like Infernal capes. Like imagine I was talking about this in the collection log Discord. Like imagine
Mm.
if all the untradables would become tradable, and that includes like caskets, like Kulu caskets. How much would those go for?
Oh,
Because master caskets would be
collection loggers?
expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why buy eclectic implants when you can just buy the casket directly? Dude?
I could see a hard clue casket going for like 400K a piece.
Oh yeah, probably even more. I think.
I was about to say I would 100% if I had the ability to just buy all the Castle Wars and all the Trouble Brewing slots because I'm never going to realistically do any of that.
What? No, don't say
no,
that.
no, no, no.
I I know you're a big fan of like the wake up AFK 25 minutes there, but realistically, I don't know about any of those ones.
Castle Wars
Dude.
event win?
Nah, I have a green lock. Fuck that.
No.
I, if they ever looked at something to rebalance, especially with the collection log in mind, some of those old mini games could use some attention.
Yeah, yeah, especially trouble brewing. But yeah, I think if master caskets were tradable, they would cost a disgusting amount of money. People would like rich people would buy it to get the pet.
Well, yeah, essentially, like, what would you value the pet at if it's 1 in 1,000?
Like
10 bill.
sure, yeah, sure, it's 10 bill. So they're 10 mil each the master caskets. It's pretty crazy. That'd be insane money per hour. You just do Sarachnis, get the elite clued and trade them in, and then get a master, and then do the master and sell it for 10 mil. You'd be making so much money per hour.
Well, yeah, I guess like even like Ironman methods doing Sarachnis for it, it's what is it like 1 every 70 minutes elite
Yeah,
clue?
something like that. For
So you'd
mains,
have
it
to
would be
go
even
get the other
faster.
clues, and then you'd have to do the clue. So I mean, you're looking at close to 2 hours total, like per master.
But for mains, it'll be like double the time. So
Yeah. I honestly, 10 million, it wouldn't be like a terrible money maker at that point. Like you're still looking at like, for 2 hours, 5 million per hour.
yeah, the Rex would be kind of high though. But compared to like doing Tob or something, it's much easier.
Yeah, it's like brain dead.
Okay, another question too. How do you think the collection logging scene would evolve if we added official collection log high scores on the Jagex website? Like currently, the high scores are tracked unofficially on the collectionlog.net
Mhm.
website. So you have to like consent to publish your data on that website. So not everyone does it, of course, meaning that there's some people that might have a lot of collection log slots that are not there,
Yeah, there's
and
some non-consenters in this call. I'll tell you what.
non-consenters. Like I
Wait,
think I'm
what?
rank 11 on that website for irons and unique high scores, but there might be other people that are above me that I'm not aware of. So, but
Well, yeah, that's kind of like Deer showing up out of nowhere and being like front page on there.
yeah, I think you claimed like rank 2 for irons. Or...
Don't they? They don't even have like trouble brewing or something easy like that done either.
Deer?
One of them, one of the irons on the top like 3 doesn't have like Castle Wars trouble brewing, or like maybe it's LMS or something done where it's like an easy like 20 log slots.
That's scary, dude. Because those logs are like so hard to get at that when you get to that level of collection log slots. Man.
Yeah, I guess eventually you reach a point where it's just worth it to do it, because even though it's slow, it's like a faster guaranteed over time.
Oh yeah. Like MTA is worth it for me to do right now. I just don't do it.
But as to them like having an official high scores, I think would be pretty interesting. It would be hard to see if they're still split across the board for like main accounts, iron accounts. That's kind of a whole point of contention in general, is there's so many high scores right now.
Yeah, there's so many sections and
I could see them doing something to like, like I think it would be healthy for them to support it. Like I know it kind of just came in as like a quirky item to track your own experience, but people do put like a lot of value and metric behind it, and it's just fun to show.
It's come up quite a bit in a few of the live streams as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it within the next, once all the other Wilderness Boss reworks and all them start coming out.
so winter.
I think it would be cool to see. Yeah, somewhere around about that.
We'll just push account security back and work on that instead.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think they should add it though, personally. I mean, we kind of already have one with the website, but like it's like an unofficial. Well, it's official, but like it's not on the homepage.
It's not official. It's unofficial because
Realistically, if Jagex really wanted to, they could just add that link into their homepage, like they did with the RuneLite.
Yeah, but they would have to like have a way to Jagex to export directly to them, so they don't have to. People don't have to consent for it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of back data that would go into that on the actual high scores.
But I think it would be cool to see one day. But I know it's not an easy feat, and they probably have better development time to do or to invest.
Actually, it would probably crash the high scores again, honestly, because it happened when they added the boss KCs. Remember, high scores were like bugged for like months.
For months, they're terrible.
Man,
also, if they're gonna focus on collection log, maybe they can make it so irons can use previously obtained items on it. Just saying, it would be cool.
ToA again.
I mean,
dude, I regrind everything I had on the collection log beforehand. So if they do that, I'm gonna be kind of sad.
Tails has done the same thing too.
Just imagine though, you're like, I got an Ellie. Like, well, go get another.
Yeah,
do it again.
A lot of like the old gamers have a lot of shit that are not on the log, which is depressing. But
yeah, and like because of that, for them, it kind of makes it like a non-competition for them unless they really decide to go for it. Like, why would you? Like it's
still
a little lackluster for
because
you.
Everyone had the collection log at the same time. It's not like if your account's older, you were able to get pets or untradeable things before, so you still had an advantage.
Well, and you also have the advantage of being farther advanced when it released.
Exactly. But like,
here's a question. How long, or you don't have to give the exact date, but like a rough time, like when did you make your iron, or not make it, but when did you start playing iron?
You want my my last four of my social too? It's the same as my account. I mean,
last four of your social, your bank pin, name, address.
Oh, and also your phone number. I need that too for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you guys don't want to answer, that's fine. But like, I started playing. I made my account a long time ago, but I started playing right after Chambers released, because that's when I lost like 50 bill on the main staking.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like my iron's like 5 years old or something like that. Like it's older, but I've been playing for 5 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I started mine after mobile. Like I saw somebody.
That's kind of recent, dude.
I saw somebody on the train. Yeah, I saw someone on a train playing it, or like a subway thing, and I was like, oh my gosh! I was like, you can play RuneScape on your tablet?
Interesting.
I used to play on the train too, which is funny. When I was going to school.
Yeah, I like thought it was quirky. I was like, that's funny. I wonder, like, I was like, does that game still exist? Like, I hadn't played it for a good dozen years.
Dude, I gotta say, like, Jagex really did a good job on mobile.
Mhm.
It's just really cool that they nailed that. But I made my account like a really long time ago. Played like super super casually, didn't do much, and then I played a little bit of free to play when like because I was really cheap. I wasn't paying for membership. And then when free to play came out, I went back on the iron, played a little bit, did some wood cutting, and but I really picked up seriously like right before COVID. And then when COVID hit, I just went full degen mode.
Oh yeah, it's a great time for it.
Man, I was playing so much. It was bad because like the university was virtually, so there was nothing. Like I didn't have to go to the school. And on top of that, all my classes were super easy because I purposely took a harder like first 3 years of university so I can chill on my last year. And on top of that, my last year was COVID semester, so I didn't do much work. So I was just playing like 18 hours a day. It was rough. I had nothing else to do. Dark times, bro.
Yeah, that's where the DGen series got its namesake.
Yeah, but now I don't play that much as back then, so that's good, I guess.
No, you have like a really healthy schedule too. Like I joked about it earlier, but like the 8 p.m. like in bed and like balancing that with gym and like work and everything is pretty solid.
Dude, I gotta say it's 8 p.m., but it's actually 10 p.m. for me for Eastern Standard Time. Like people are gonna think I'm going to bed at 8 p.m.
I was wondering. I was like, do you really go to bed at 8?
No, well, it's because
No,
I've like when I was younger, like I realized like okay, so I used to be really into fitness when I was like in high school, and I realized that the biggest thing you can do for your fitness is sleeping. So I'd always get
Yeah.
my 8 hours of sleep, and even in university when I had like important exams, my friends would like sleep deprive, and I'm like, nah, fuck that. I go to bed, sleep my eight
Yeah, sleep's
hours, and then I like, and it's always good if I do it that way. So I never fucked around with
especially
bedtimes.
especially if you have like any type of like illness or diseases. Sleep is so important because that's when you're in REM sleep. That's when your body is actually like recovering and fixing itself.
So yeah, I don't. These sometimes I do like sleep deprive myself for like a couple days. Like I'm mostly specifically talking about bingos where I sleep like four or
Mhm.
five
That's
hours.
fine
But
though.
like then I like make it up
You
like
yeah, you
afterwards.
make up
So
for it.
and it's like when I sleep deprive myself, it's not that like I don't go to bed. It's that I still go to bed at 10, but I wake up at like 4 a.m. or something like that. So
That's hard to prevent too. Some of that's just like excitement,
oh
you
yeah, you're
know.
so like
You're like,
fucking
I gotta get in.
man. I remember like this one time like we were doing the race, the first version of the race, which we're doing race V3 soon, by the way, and like our team was on the Tome of Fire tile, and I fucking hated Winter Todd. So I went to bed at like 10 o'clock. Then I woke up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, all right, it's time. I checked my phone and I saw that our team was still stuck at Winter Todd. So I went, fuck that. Went back to bed. I told Pharaoh and he was cringing. He's like, no way. But yeah, sorry, that was the race plug right there.
Oh yeah, sign up now.
Well, the signups are opening up in a couple days, but that
You want
competition
to
is
elaborate
cracked, dude.
what it is so people that are listening they
Yeah,
know
our
right now.
three listeners
Oh,
want
you
to
guys
know.
haven't done
Okay.
it. That's true. Okay, so it starts off with one boss. So I'll give you an example. For the first race, it started off with barrels, and for the second one, it started off with chambers. And then depending on what item you get, it unlocks a branch. So for the first race, if you got like an ancestral piece, you unlock the magic side. If you got like a range, like a T-bow or a twisted buckler or DHCB, you unlock another branch. And then if you got like a elder maul or what dex or whatever, you got another branch. And you can see it
Isn't it
like a
like a
flow
bingo
chart.
board but like a one tile at a time bingo board?
It's like a bingo board, but in a flow chart pattern that you unlock as you go.
Gotcha.
And what was cool is that like for the barrels one, the event started and no one knew what it was for the first tile, right? So everyone's just chilling at Sears Bank. Then I leak the tile on like it's barrels, and then everyone just starts putting on barrels gear, like they're trying and all that, teleporting to barrels. And there's like 30 people killing barrels on the same world, and everyone's like, all the normal people doing barrels are like so confused, like why are there so many people in this world? And the CC just starts flooding like Torag barrels, this, and you see the board slowly filling up. And I think it was like if you got the all the helms, you unlocked another row, and then once you unlock the first row, then your team starts splitting up, and then you're like, okay, this boss is Sarah, so everyone who has a T-bow go do Sarah. Everyone who has a Trident stay at Barrows, and we're just like juggling people around like that, and oh my god, it was loads of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a blast, and I've been pretty stoked about just like all the engagement the clan has had. I know that's part of like a further on question, but
Oh yeah, we can. That's true. Good point. We can jump. We can like kind of mention that question, but the next question is basically, how has the clan chat system changed your playstyle? I'm more talking towards like 9227 and Aiden, because I know you guys were in a different CC beforehand, and then you joined a more social CC with like more chiller events. So how has that changed your playstyle as opposed to being like a solo only player?
Oh, I
no,
quite enjoy it,
not
to be
it.
honest with you. It's broken up quite a few of the grinds. I would have just currently been ToA since release, right the way through to now, but now I've managed to break it up with a bit of rune crafting competitions. The bingo just recently was quite fun. And then the ToA prep week, that was good. I mean, I wouldn't have been doing a full day worth of 1.5 ticking, oh, 2 ticking sorties, sorry. But without that event, so yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
was a
sort
really
of
fun event actually. I liked it a lot. But did you
yeah,
see
yeah.
I announced the ToA raffle week?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I did. I noticed that one. So that'll be fun. I'll be going straight back into it, so
Yeah, me
that
too. I'm
just
gonna
fits right
degen
into
it
my
so
plan.
hard. Basically,
Yeah.
like that event is over a week. Every ToA kill count you get gives you a ticket in a raffle, and then at the end of the event, we pull 5 tickets, and each person gets a bond.
Oh man, pot 150s, you know.
Dude, I'm down. You pot 8, 9,
Oh
150s.
no.
Just full send them. But
So
I'll
you
probably
just
just
don't
pot
want a fang
300s.
then, I
But
guess.
well,
Nah,
I
hell,
don't care, man. I'm here for KC
Uh,
now. I gave up
it's
on the doubles. They
the
don't
guy
exist.
with
yeah, yeah.
cereal bowl meme. Lone gym rat will never have a fang.
But yeah, that's basically. Is there anything else you guys want to mention? Because that's basically a wrap for
No,
everything.
like again, we were both. I think we said this earlier in Olympus, and like super great people in there, a lot of fun people. Just not as social, and I mean, I was also a little intimidated as like the worst skiller in there to really join into any events. I think I got over that mindset more so for myself than I did feel any like superiority when I came over to this clan chat. I honestly felt none because I'm very mid at the game. Uh, so it's just really fun getting to, like be a little bit more social and do some activities and like Aiden said, do some things I wouldn't be doing. Like I have barely touched post max scaling and I've just been able to do a lot of that, which has been a lot of fun.
I'll personally go on and say that I enjoy it though, because like I'm still associated with Hexus and I'm still like in there as like a secondary clan. Um, but I left it as a primary and came over here just simply because it's more socially like involving, and like you have a bunch of events and stuff, like all these like Hexus and like all the other skilling clans. No one ever really talks in those. Um, and
Nope.
then my personal opinion, I like the milestones, like every 10 mil, 20 mil XP milestones. It's kind of nice to see. And the drops and stuff. You don't really see that in those skilling clans. You don't see like, people getting a blood shard as a unique or like collection log stuff. It's more engagement in the CC as well.
Oh,
That's
you
kind of
you
why,
get you get space barred in Olympus.
yeah, I love the space bar.
That's so funny, dude.
But
It's funny to an extent.
it's
But
it's
yeah.
it's nice seeing like when you're playing and you're just like chilling, and then you see like someone pull like Bandos Tassies or like a TOA drop versus like no one's spoken in the chat in the last 4 hours. That's kind of how those skilling CCs go. Not many people talk in them. The Discords are quite active, but within the CC itself, it's pretty dead. So I'd rather see some stuff throughout the day of playing versus having an empty chat box, because it's like you're like really not in a clan at that point. So
I think it's
that's why
cool
I
that they
like
they
games.
let you be in a secondary clan though. That's really cool that Hexus lets you do that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think most clans essentially would. I don't know, but
Not
I mean, I can't
solitary.
join this.
They told me
I
to pick one, and I said okay,
see. I
bye. I picked the
I can't
OSRS.
join the CC because they have it on like friends only or whatever. But I can hop in the Discord all the time. I still talk to the people in there. Like, So it's nice, and I'm welcome back whenever. So that's nice, but being in like an iron CC it's almost where you like kind of belong, unless you're like a main or an iron just straight skilling all the time. Like I like doing like ToA, TOB, some PVM stuff here and there. So like having the ability to be in a CC where it offers that is a lot better than going to like we do raids.
Boys, I just realized I wasn't recording your audio.
Huh?
No, I'm fucking with you. Sorry.
That's okay. I was laughing either way for it. I was like, this is...
we just run that one back again, guys.
Almost
Honestly,
pulled a
I
sales
would have just told you to upload it.
It's just me talking to myself.
just Lone Jim
Solo
ramble one.
Solo
and
ramble
it's
with
just
invisible
you.
friends number.
Yeah, it's just you literally rambling to yourself.
Oh, dude, that's kind of funny. But yeah, I guess we can wrap it up here.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you guys want to say before I wrap up?
No, man. Thanks. Thanks for inviting us. I hope we get some more CC people in if we do more of these.
Yeah, we have to convince Heavy for the next one and Trexy.
Oh, for sure.
But the plan, okay, this is gonna be episode 1. I still haven't decided the name. I'm not sure if I want to do 07 Iron Podcast or something else. But so this is gonna be episode 1, and I mean, honestly, like my plan was to see if this was fun or not, and I think it is kind of fun. It's nice to goof around and have some discussions about some of the more controversial topics, and
All of Cran's mini bands and shady connections. Yeah.
Sus insider information.
This was an unethical podcast.
Hell yeah. And yeah, so we'll see how this goes. If if people enjoy it, then that's cool. That'll be more enjoyable for us to make more. And so yeah, we'll see what happens for episode 2. On that note, oh, go ahead, Crayons.
I was just saying, it's like we've done Volcano for the last 2 hours, so it's pretty chill. That time's either flown by. I don't know. For me, it's flown by. Maybe it's the 30 defense, but
me too, actually. But it would be cool if we do like all together. We do like some weird like DGen collection log content together.
I know you and I have been talking about doing like some type of a ramble or like something as well in the past. So
yeah, it took a while for us to
get started on something like this.
There's also a few other people I'd like to invite too. Like I'd like to see Browntree in one of these. I'd like to see who else? Yumi.
You could even get people. You could even get people that aren't in the CC on these too, like over time.
I guess we pretend like they joined the CC for like a day, and then we kick them from the CC afterwards.
Well, that's how we used to do it in Hexus. When we had our Hexus podcast, we'd have like 5 CC members and then 1 guest.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we can do that too. I don't mind. I'm open for anything. Can test it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The only thing too is we don't want to be too many people because then it gets difficult to.
Yeah, it gets real hectic.
Unless like you'd have to know the people in advance and done these before, so that like it's more organized. But yeah,
it's definitely doable.
Yeah, we'll grow slowly. And on that note, if you guys in the watching have any like ideas for questions or topics, make sure you leave it below. And yeah, that's basically it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you join the 07 Iron CC if you're interested in being part of this clan. We accept all irons, by the way.
Even group ones, which, I mean...
Even unofficial group ones.
Hot take. Barely an iron.
I mean, we're casual. We don't give a shit. Like, we're talking with the other mods about it, and we're all just like, I don't care. Like, as long as they're not toxic, I don't mind. Like, and most of them are really chill, so it's fun.
Yeah, they've been fine.
So
don't follow me on Twitter because it'll probably be banned in a month.
It's a good call.
Number 9's the charm.
Dude, I have to use a fucking VPN and like a Google Voice phone number to make an account now because I'm like IP blocked. I shit you not. I have to go to like the local McDonald's on a fucking burner phone to make a new account.
He pays a Venezuelan in RuneScape Gold to make a new Twitter account for him every 6 months.
Oh, I could probably. Well, no, I can't even buy a Twitter because if I log in on the browser, it like I get locked.
You get IP banned directly.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll end it here. So TY, peace
Yeah.
out, lads.
Yep. See you guys.
Yeah.